What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to HTF Bets, season premiere of season 7. My name is Andrew Montana, and before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to Riley Shepard and Jeff Laux for paving the way for the youngins like myself and the two hosts that I've got right beside me to take over the program and this amazing show. Now, if you're into football, this is the episode for you because we're starting off with NFL future bets, followed by my NFL fantasy sleepers, and ending it off with surefire picks of the week. We'll be right back after commercial break. Don't go anywhere. HTF Bet starts right now.
Hit it, boys.
Back. Thank you guys so much for tuning with us. With me today, I've got two of the best basketball players I know and two of the best people I know. Ezra, I'll start off with you. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I love that I'm a bets host now. I love the people I'm hosting with. It's going to be a great show, great year. Let's run it.
And a mean defender and rebounder to my left, Mr. Phil Powell. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Andrew, I know that this is a lovely jacket.
It really is a lovely jacket. I got it myself too. Can you believe that?
I'm trying to tell you. Oh, man.
And speaking of lovely jackets, Mr. Ty Paton over at the TV screen, and I actually swear if you mention One Piece, you're done. How are you doing today, Ty?
Well, there's a certain Netflix show out that came out today, and I won't say anything about it for fear of my own life. But it's very exciting. It came out today. If you open Netflix, it's right there. I'm very excited for it. How are you, Andrew Montana?
I'm doing great, Ty, but just a quick question. What's that show called?
It slips my memory,
That's so crazy.
It fades, it's like smoke in the air.
That's so crazy, because I did just mention it earlier. I did just mention it earlier, but it's fine. Let's get right into the segment. We'll be starting off with NFL future bets, which means just quick overview. What that means is just we're going to try and do some bets that basically are determined at the end of the NFL season. So with that being said, we're each going to give our own. We're not going to overlap players, teams, or awards. We're going to be looking specifically at team wins, awards, and league leaders. With that being said, Ezra, you've got yourself an interesting MVP pick. Talk to me.
I definitely do. I think he has a very, very, very good case for it this year. Somebody has already discussed it, but I'm now going to agree. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the NFL MVP this year. What's funny about it?
No, go ahead. Talk your talk.
All right. He has one of the easiest schedules. He's in one of the easiest divisions. He has to play the Colts, the Texans, and the Titans twice. So that's 6 easy ones right there. I only really have 5 or 6 games that are super threatening to them, which is like week 2 against the Chiefs, week 5 against the Bills, maybe week 8 against the Steelers away, 49ers, Bengals, Ravens at home. Those are all games that they could, like, other than like the 49ers and Chiefs, those are all games that could go one way or the other. Right now, Trevor Lawrence is saying at plus 1,500 odds to win MVP behind like 6 other people. The only person I think could really give him competition is probably Patrick Mahomes, I'd say.
Probably?
Yeah, just
Probably?
maybe. A little bit of competition. But no, Joe Burrow's in a pretty tough division this year. Josh Allen turns over the ball a lot. Offense isn't looking too great, like up past Stephon Diggs. Justin Herbert has a new offensive coordinator, might not gel right away. Jalen Hurts, tougher schedule. Lamar Jackson, come back from injury. These are all things that are like kind of just lining up for Trevor Lawrence to take a huge step. Plus, he got 2 new offensive pieces this year. He's got Calvin Ridley coming back from suspension. And he's got Anton Harrison, who they just took in a draft as another blocker and tackle for them. Like they're pretty set up. They're set up pretty good this year. I think he could actually pull it off.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't want to hear Tua.
That is way too
Anywhere
much.
in the MVP conversation.
Tua.
Anywhere.
So I understand, Phil, your reaction, but Ty, I didn't get to see anything from your end. What do you think of Ezra's pick?
Okay, I mentioned this on my show, The Combine. Shout out, go watch it. That Trevor Lawrence, I think, is on a really good team, but I think he's just a solid quarterback. And MVP stands for most valuable player, not most valuable team. Even if they have the easiest schedule and they go 13-4, I still think Trevor Lawrence only puts up 3,500 through the air.
He just put up 4K
I don't
last
think
year.
those are MVP numbers.
He just put up 4K yards last year, and he's getting Calvin Ridley. You don't think he's going to take a step forward?
I don't know. He has easy games. I think their defense is just going to play it safe. The run game, I think, is going to pick up a lot this year. I think the Jags are overall just great, but I don't think you can throw them in MVP conversation.
You need a good team to be able to win MVP, and he's a very, very, very good quarterback. So I mean, I don't think it's that far off. Like obviously, Patrick Mahomes is a guy that you can do.
Can I ask you though, how many receivers does Patrick Mahomes have that you know off the top of your head?
Ugh. New conversation.
Anyway, so Trevor Lawrence is on a really good team, of course, as you just mentioned, and in a really bad division. But speaking of poor teams, Mr. Ty Paton, talk to me about your Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, so I just wanted to give a quick little reminder that if I could make this pick anywhere else besides where we took our odds from, I would have taken them at under half a win. Like, the Cardinals are going to be garbage this year, trash. They don't have Kyler Murray. They released their second-string quarterback, and they trade for Joshua Dobbs and still haven't announced a starter. Kyler Murray is on season-ending IR. They trade away Isaiah Simmons. They trade away their starting O-tackle. They are tanking harder than I've seen any team tank, I think, in a while. I'm slamming the under on 3.5 wins. Slamming the under.
What'd you say, Ezra?
I think they could genuinely go over 17 this year, if not 1 for 16. So I would have to agree with that, to be honest.
That's a fair pick. Now, Phil, I'm going to toss it to you real quick. Super Bowl champion. Why is the 305 taking it?
All right.
They're not.
I'm about to cook. That's why I'm over here stirring. All right, so
do
look,
not want
last
what he's
year,
cooking.
my Dolphins, we went 9-8. We almost beat the Bills in the playoffs with a third-string quarterback. Third-string, and Skylar
Almost.
Thompson. But here now, this season, we beat up our defense. We got Jalen Ramsey, and we also got rid of Josh Boyer, horrible defensive coordinator. Now we got Vic Fangio. And now guess who also played with Vic Fangio? Bradley Chubb. So now he's going to play better this year. Our front seven, our D-line, we have Jalen Phillips, we have Emmanuel Ogba, we have Bradley Chubb, and we also have Zach Sealer, who we just re-signed. Then now we have the best, to me, the best receiver duo in the league with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Interesting.
Yes. Who's better? Stop.
Bengals?
No,
Just
stop.
49ers?
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, baby. Buccaneers.
No, you stop.
Stop it. Then now we also got top 3 cornerback duo in Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard. Why are you looking at that? I
Okay,
feel like
top
we're
three
at
is
plus
crazy.
2,500. The disrespect, they have the Cowboys,
three
the
is
Chargers, and also the Lions ahead of us.
Top 3 is crazy.
Top 3 corner duo, yes.
Can I ask you, what do you think is going to go on with Tua?
Oh, he stayed healthy. I say MVP conversation. He was
Cut, please.
no.
cut. Please
Last
stop.
season,
Stop
last
everything.
season,
I'm about to
last season, before he got his old concussion protocol thing, he was in the
Which one of
MVP
the three?
conversation. Hey, look, he's going to stay healthy. The team's going to stay healthy. One thing, my big concern is that our O-line, we need to do better with that, and our linebacker core. But other than that, yeah, we're top. I say we're what?
I'm going to run with you just for the sake of supporting the Dolphins. But speaking of bad picks, I was assigned to take a long shot pick. That means over 3,000 odds. And I'm taking one that's exactly at 3,000 odds, actually. That's Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets, winning Offensive Player of the Year. I'm honestly not super upset. Like, I would have thought it would have been.
I would have thought it would have been a little bit better odds. To be
Exactly,
honest,
yeah.
'cause,
No, yeah.
He's in a very good setup situation.
Exactly. Aaron Rodgers coming in. You've got the backfield taking over with Dalvin Cook. It's going to open up a lot of opportunities for Garrett Wilson. But with that being said, Ty, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back with segment 2. I'll be over at the board with my NFL fantasy sleepers. Don't go anywhere.
Jalen Ramsey's injured.
I'm Johnny Jackson. We've got Emily Aaron to my right and Maluka Costa to my left.
Hello and welcome to our segment of Hot Ones. I'm here with Noah Kemper and Grant
Wheeler.
Yep, I knew that. Grant Wheeler.
Listen, I'm a Bulls fan, but I just can't ever argue against LeBron. I watched him my whole life.
I've been going back and forth with this debate for a long time. It's got to be Michael Jordan.
Whatever she wanted. I would wake up in a maid costume for Doja Cat.
Brutal.
Jeffrey Laux, no question.
Richie, I would give it to Richie.
It is not Richie. It is not Richie.
No, it's Jeff.
Richie's pronouns are he, they, because he cannot be him.
What?
Oh, where's that?
I'm gonna have to also agree and say Jeff. He always is spiffy.
It might be Cameron. Cameron's had some good fits.
Out of the women, Norelli always dresses really, really cute.
Brother. That went so awful.
It's basketball.
College football, I think, is the best sport to watch. If you don't like soccer, it's because you suck at it.
I think college football is the best.
Thanks for watching.
Andrew Montana. That's because he's actually over at the board right now, and we'll get to him in just a second. But first, I want to introduce y'all to our lovely guest, Jack Hanzal. Jack, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. And as you can see, if you're wondering why Andrew is looking so good last segment, it's because he had my jacket, which debuted today. It's a shame that he had to wear it first.
He looked a little bit better.
I definitely look better, just in general sense, not even just in the jacket.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, I think it's finally time. Andrew, We see you at the board over there. You got something planned for us.
Yeah, I would hope so, because now I'm rocking Ty's jacket, and it's nice and comfy. It's all big and stuff, just like him, my little Huggy Bear. But we'll just start off right away with my NFL fantasy sleepers. If we could get the graphic up, that would be insanely cool. But yeah, just to start off, my first pick is going to be James Conner, who's currently sitting at 51st. There we go. Updated to 51st. Arizona Cardinals running back. He's in a weird situation in the Cardinals right now, especially regarding their offense. You've got Kyler Murray, who's on IR. He's inconsistent. He's becoming the Trae Young of point guards, at least for the NFL. And in the sense, he just gets blown away by the wind. Must have been the wind. And if you got yourself a receiving core that is Zach Ertz, and that's it, I would assume that James Conner is going to take a big leap. He's presumed to jump from 200 fantasy points last season to 202 this year, which, I mean, not the biggest jump in the world, but why not take it? And not only that, on the other side of the coin, you've got some questions about his durability. He's missed at least 2 games every season of his career, including last year when he missed 4 games. You know, a little bit questionable, especially if you're looking at his draft stock as a fantasy GM, but I would say he's a solid running back too. Just throw him in as your backup. Why not? Next up, we got Alexander Mattison, running back for the Minnesota Vikings. He put up great numbers last season, actually. If you looked at the 4 games that Dalvin Cook sat, Alex Mattison actually led running backs in total touches, rushing yards, and actually fantasy points, which is, you know, a crazy stat to have, especially considering you're the backup running back. He's projected to jump from 88 fantasy points last year to 202 this year, which huge leap regardless, but he's going to be taking advantage of Jay Jettas just eating up the outside, and you got yourself a decent offense to run through. I think he's going to take a huge step, and you should too, especially considering he's as low as, actually, this was also updated to 53rd. So just why not throw him in as your backup? He could even be your running back 1 if the situations are just like that. Next up, we've got Drake London, Atlanta Falcons wide receiver. Self-serve. He's currently sitting at 68th. If he were slept on by one more position, though, that would be the funny number. He's also in a weird situation in Atlanta. You've got Desmond Riddler taking over QB, who's probably going to average, if he plays all seasons and stuff, or all the games and everything, he's going to throw, 8 interceptions, under 65% completion. I don't think he's going to be a great quarterback. You got Bijan Robinson taking over the running back slot as a rookie. I think that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for Drake London, and he's a really efficient wide receiver. He actually was 17th among running backs in routes run total, but only got 48th in targets, which is crazy because he's doing his job. He's getting out there. He hits the QB with the triangle, and he's not getting the pigskin. It's ridiculous. I think he's going to open up a lot of opportunities for Atlanta, and he's going to open up a lot of opportunities for your fantasy team. Next up, we've got George Pickens out of Pittsburgh. You've got yourself a Pickens and a Pickett situation, and they're both entering their second year in the NFL. I think it's going to be a great little 1-2 punch, QB wide receiver. Not only that, he's got hands. He's got absolute hands. If you look at his stats from last year, he put up 9.5 yards per target, which is 11th most in the NFL. And the fact that he's fallen down to 81st, I think is crazy. He's projected to jump from 166 fantasy points to last year to 181 this year, which I think is going to be a great pickup for you at wide receiver 3 or even wide receiver 2. Now, last but not least on this list, my favorite pick out of all of these is Houston Texans' newest tight end, Dalton Schultz. He just spent 5 years in Dallas, which is crazy. He's like Luka. I see you. And entering his 6th year in the league, but the only issue with him is that, first of all, he's the only person on this list who's actually projected to decrease in fantasy points from last year to this year, from 143 to 135. He ran a high-paced, efficient, electric offense out in Dallas, and just crossing the state down the southeast. Of course, you got to stub at Buc-ee's on the way, because why not? You're going into Houston, and it's a new system for offense. It's a new system for the entire team. You've got rookie C.J. Stroud coming in, running point, and Dalton just needs to get used to the new scheme, get used to the new offense. I think he's going to be fine, though. He's actually finished top 11 among tight ends in the last 3 seasons in targets, yards, receptions, and fantasy points. So that's crazy. And the fact that he's 115, it's an easy steal. You could take him at tight end 2 or even tight end 1. I wouldn't be mad if I saw that in my fantasy league. But boys, I'm going to pitch it back to you guys at the desk. What do you think overall about this list?
All right, so I'm going to start. It's actually a pretty all-around good list. I can't really lie.
Thank you.
James Conner's a very iffy pick, but I can understand. He's like a fantasy. He'll hold it down for you in fantasy. Alexander Mattison, I love that pick a lot. He's very, very, very underrated. He's probably going to break out this season very well. Drake London's the one I had in question because I actually was looking at the list. There's a wide receiver below him that looks like he should have a much, much, much better season, and I would have picked him preferably.
Who would that be?
It's going to be Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is somebody that was right below Drake London and could genuinely be the wide receiver 1 on arguably the best team in the NFL. And if you compare their stats, they both had similar targets last season. Ayuk had 1K yards and 8 touchdowns in comparison to Drake London's 800 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Drake London is a little bit more efficient when it comes to catching the ball. When he gets the ball, and he will catch it, yards after catch, it doesn't stand out, but it stands out enough to consider him a sleeper in my opinion.
I guess, but at the same time, he does have Desmond Ridder throwing him the ball, so I can't bet on it too much.
He is in, yes.
But yeah, other than that, Dalton Schultz loved to pick, George Pickens loved to pick. What do y'all boys think?
I love the Pickens pick. Pickens, fantastic pick.
Bars.
That's what I do. James Conner, do not like that one. It's simple reasoning. I don't like. Same with Dalton Schultz. I don't like players on bad teams. At the end of the day, the Cardinals are going to be a terrible team.
They're going to be so bad.
Why would James Conner be
good?
good?
We're talking fantasy, and James Conner is the only hope for Arizona's offense. It's a similar situation to Bijan Robinson out in Atlanta. He's going to get all the numbers.
No, the Falcons are actually halfway decent.
The
Falcons are decent.
I understand, but
James
Conner has
there's going to be 11 people in the box because no one's going to trust Joshua Dobbs to throw the ball to anyone.
Don't worry about it, Jack.
They might not put a corner on the field. Joshua Dobbs is not throwing the ball to anyone.
He's not. So,
and I don't like Madison as much just because the Vikings are a super pass-heavy team.
I made that one for you specifically.
I know, but the Vikings are just so pass-heavy. I wouldn't expect you to know, but man, they're just an extremely pass-heavy team. Dang, they only ran the ball 40% of the time,
But still, even with Dalvin Cook on the team, he did very, very well.
He's a great backup.
I think Alexander Madison could do at least close to what Dalvin Cook did.
You look at, I mentioned it, Jack. And again, this is all for you. When Dalvin Cook was out, Madison ate. He took the entire load off of Dalvin Cook's shoulders and just literally ran with it.
But one running back that I like a lot better, and this isn't my original sleeper one, I'll get to that in 1 second. One running back I like a lot more was Javonte Williams. I think he's much better than Alexander Madison.
I don't know about better. I don't know about better, but
he's definitely better. He was like a second-round pick in last year's draft before he got hurt. But
but that's the point. He got hurt.
Last year, he's going to be a lot better than Madison and James Conner. My real sleeper, though, is Kyle Pitts. I think he was a decoy last year in the last 2 years for Atlanta. Now they got Bijan Robinson. He will not need to be a decoy.
Such
and
a
actually
run-heavy
have
offense.
Yeah.
Such a run-heavy offense.
They're going to pass more. They have Drake London now. They have
Drake
Kyle
London's
Pitts.
their first target over
They'll be
there.
great.
Kyle Pitts is still not going to get those receptions.
I really want to get the I really need to get the
Go ahead. Spit your bars.
He's going to do his thing regardless. Also, Jack, just a weird question. Do you know what's going on with Alexander Madison in this undisclosed injury?
No.
I just want to make sure because I didn't know. Internet doesn't know. I figured, Jack, the prophet, has got to know, right?
He's going to play week 1. That's all I know.
He wouldn't expect you to know. But go ahead.
All right. It pains me to say this. Shouts out to Nolan. Shouts out to you, Ezra, and my boy Watto. My sleeper is Kendrick Bourne.
I love it. I love it.
Kendrick Bourne. Hear me now. Hear me. So look, first year on the Patriots, he had 55 receptions for 800 yards. Which was pretty good. Now, he had Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator. Now, second year, he had 35 receptions for 434 yards. Like, Philip, why did his production go down? Because he had Matt Patricia calling plays for him. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised he survived on the Lions as a head coach that long. But now he actually have an offensive coordinator in Bill O'Brien, who the Patriots took from Alabama. So now I really believe that he's going to be a sleeper. I'll put him at flex. Definitely at a flex player. So he's great at catching the ball. He has hands. He could catch contested passes. He's yards at the catch. So So I really believe he's a very strong player.
He could genuinely be wide receiver 1 for the Patriots this season too.
I think he is over Parker and Juju.
It's such a toss-up between all of our receivers, Parker, Juju, Kendrick Bourne. Either of them could be wide receiver 1, but I think Kendrick Bourne has the best.
But Jackie, looking at me hard.
For people that do not know,
okay,
we spent a whole mock show talking about how Isaiah Likely in Phil's eyes is so good. It's going to be better than Mark Andrews.
No.
He talked about Isaiah Likely isn't even on an ADP scale for ESPN. His average pick is 259th. That sounds like a perfect sleeper if you really believe in Isaiah Likely. If you could draft someone 259th overall.
You got to put context into it. Now, I say Mark Andrews' production will go down. Because Lamar finally got a lot of weapons.
I just cannot believe you did not pick Isaiah Likely.
All right.
Stick to your guns.
Let's get back on track. All right, so 2 more other players I would have also put on this list. Dalton Kincaid could easily be the number 1 for the Buffalo Bills this season. Very pass-heavy offense. I love that pick, honestly. He was tight end 15th ranking. I would 100% pick him a lot higher. and also Jahan Dotson. He was wide receiver 38.
Love
Jahan
that.
Dotson is very, very, very low. I think he was below both Pickens and Drake London. I would pick Jahan Dotson over both of them personally in myself. So yeah, but that's all I got, Andrew. Thank you for your list. Go
Thank you
ahead.
guys for your time.
I mean,
Yeah.
take George Pickens off the list, you'd be good. 'Cause
If you've seen his
Pickens
preseason
is
highlights,
Pickens
you would-
fantastic.
He's not a sleeper.
Dotson's a
He's not a
fantastic
sleeper.
passer.
You
Pick
would know.
Dotson. to
He's
be
like me and I
honest.
am. For real.
Yeah, he's not a sleeper. Yeah.
Dotson's
All right.
Ooh.
All right. So up next, we have our Surefire pick of the weeks. We'll see you after this commercial break.
Welcome back. This segment, we're going to be covering our Surefire Picks of the Week. We've got an interesting roster today.
We do.
We really do. Ezra, if you don't mind, I'm going to start off with yourself. We've got some English Premier League tea going on.
We do. So we got the Premier League game of the week happening this weekend. This Sunday, September 3rd, we have Arsenal versus Manchester United. This game on paper looks like it should be like one of the best, but both of them are not really in the best of form at the moment. Arsenal are coming off a draw at Fulham, looking to probably change around some tactics and absolutely obliterate Manchester United. Manchester United come in this game without Luke Shaw. They come in without possibly Raphael Varane, who went off at halftime against Nottingham Forest, and they also don't come in with Mason Mount and their star striker that paid $60 million for, Rasmus Højlund. So I'm absolutely taking the Arsenal money line for this game. It's sitting at negative 125 or minus 125. Sorry. You're going to want to put a lot of money on that if you want to win some money, but it's a pretty easy bet in my opinion. And like I said, Manchester United's not really looking great, but Arsenal's not looking the best either. So I would personally only have Arsenal winning by 1 goal. That line right now sits at plus 240. I think that's easy money. I don't think because their past wins so far in the Prems have been 2-1 wins, or a 2-1 win and then a 1-0 win, both against Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace. I'm not necessarily bought in on their attack just yet, so I think that 1 goal should be about right. And then Bukayo Saka will probably score this game considering Manchester United don't have Luke Shaw, no let-back depth. And coming in off the right, one of the best right-handed side wingers in the entire world, if not the Premier League. So that's sitting at a plus 200. I'm absolutely taking that as well. That's easy money.
And Arsenal's currently sitting at 5th in the Premier League to Manchester United's 8th. Both teams have struggled, right?
Yeah.
We're only 3 games in, but you can see flashes of what's going to come ahead. Which of the 2 teams do you think is going to finish higher than the other?
1,000% Arsenal's going to finish higher than Manchester United. Manchester United still have like 5 things to figure out before they can even before Arsenal has to figure out one thing. And Arsenal's one thing is probably extra depth at the center half and left back position as well after just losing Jurriën Timber to injury for the rest of the season. So honestly, Manchester United haven't looked great. They've won their games, but not anywhere near convincingly, and they lost to Tottenham. So I'm not bought in on them anytime soon.
Tottenham. Yeah. So Arsenal's currently sitting technically undefeated.
Yeah.
Technically undefeated. They have a plus
Still have a
minus
draw.
of 2 to Manchester United, just flat 0. Not doing the best. But with that being said, Phil, I'm going to toss it over to you. You got some college football to talk about.
Yes. Finally, football is back. Now, I despise this team. I hate this team because me being a Hurricanes fan. But I'll give them a little spotlight. So I have number 5 LSU going against number 8 FSU. You know, I know. I hate the Noles with a passion. No, I hate them.
We need to kick Luka out real quick.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
please.
LSU is 2.5 favorite right now, and LSU money line is at minus 142. I would take that. You know, LSU total points over at 29.5. I'll also take that at minus 115. But FSU will actually be the first team to score, and I would say they will score by a field goal at plus 550. I know. Look, hey, trust me. if I hit on this parlay, if you want to win money, trust me, listen to me. I'm trying to tell you, listen to me. This is going to be a good game, though. I mean, we have two Heisman watch, in Jaden Daniels and also Jordan Travis, but I give the notch more to Jaden Daniels because I think he's better. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jordan Travis, he's a good quarterback, but I feel like he's going to be like, what's the word? He's not going to be at Cam Newton level when Cam Newton was on Auburn, but he's going to carry a bad team. I think Florida State's not a good team, although they did demolish us like 40-0 last year.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, I know. We're rebuilding. We got this. Mario Cristobal, he's going to do it good for it this year. Trust me. But now I would definitely take LSU in this game. This is going to be a good game. My final prediction for this game, I say 38-21 LSU.
Interesting. Okay. And with that being said, ESPN is currently favoring LSU to win this one with 65% odds to FSU's 35. Now, one more little bet I want to throw your way. Ooh. The game's being held at Camping World Stadium. If you guys may know, that's in Orlando. Mm-hmm. Do you think the weather is going to be over or under 87.5 degrees Fahrenheit?
Oh, God.
It takes place
miles
at
over.
It's
going
to
be miles over.
We live in 7:30?
7:30.
Man, we live
miles over.
Florida has bipolar weather. Mm-hmm. It could rain 1 minute, then next minute it'll be sunshine. So, yes, I'm sorry. I'll still take that over.
You smashing the over?
Oh, yeah.
What about yourself?
Yeah.
So much over. I'll put every cent I have down on the over.
That's so fair. And last but not least, I'm going to kick it off with UCF versus Kent State actually happening tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited for UCF.
I'm so excited, dude. I cannot wait.
It's like that.
Oh, I don't know. Hey, look, man.
No, it's been a while. I know it's been a while.
I know.
But UCF is projected to demolish Kent State. UCF's money line sitting at minus 10,000. I can't even count that high. The spread, UCF is also projected to win by, their spread is 36.5 points. I'm hitting the over. I think UCF just covers it absolutely. In fact, I was pondering about this last night, right? Okay. I think the final score is going to be 62-13.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You think we're scoring that much?
Yes.
I don't see I don't think our offense that high.
I was about to say, I'm not a big believer in our offense like that.
Here's the thing. It's the first game back, right? UCF's going to be bouncing in the house, and everyone's just going to be hyped. JRP is going to be riding that wave, and I'm actually taking JRP going under 215.5 passing yards.
Correct.
I'm regretting it a little bit. Here's the thing, though.
No, you're right.
Here's the thing. In his last 5 games as a UCF quarterback, he's never gone over that mark, right? Which is why I hit the under. But I'm being a little bit cautious because I'm scared that he is going to take advantage of that passing game. He's going to ride the wave and just throw some bombs down the field. That's my only concern, but statistically, he should not be going over 215. He shouldn't even be crossing 175.
He's a Tim Tebow for UCF.
Yeah, I don't see him getting over that at all, if even close. But our run game is going to be very dominant in this game. I
agree.
And due to weather, we may actually keep it on the ground.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I think we should because it's going to be our first game. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but it's our first game, and we're going to be first game as a Big 12 member. That's going to be really exciting. Actually, I want to hear you guys' score predictions for tonight's game because we're all going to be involved.
I won't say no 62 to 13. No, that's kind of. I will give UCF. I say 45 to. I say 21.
Okay.
Dang, I had 45 in my head. I gotta change it now. I'll go. No, I'll go 42. 42-14.
Okay.
42-14.
All right. And before we wrap this up, I just want to stare into the soul of that camera and say, William Wells, my boy from Suncoast, from the 561. I'm going to need an interception tonight.
Yes.
I'm calling you out right now. And one more thing before we go. We both lost a bet on Combine. I know you remember.
No. Mine will be soon.
$16 on Amazon for that stupid bet, that MVP that Joel Embiid did not deserve.
Mine will be soon.
Yeah, you'll get that on. I got you. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Phil, Ezra, Jack, and Ty, thank you guys so much for joining us. But until next time, we will see you guys on HTF Bets. Till next week, go Knights, charge on.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.